You open your pantry. It looks full. Cans stacked on cans, a box of rice somewhere in the back, pasta. A few things bought on sale months ago, never touched. There is food here, that much is obvious. So you feel okay about it. But then you stop and actually look. A can of chickpeas, half a bag of lentils, some crackers, 2 cans of tomato paste, a jar of peanut butter barely sealed, 3 different hot sauces, something in the back you cannot identify anymore. Now ask yourself one question. If you had to survive on this for 7 days, you would not make it comfortably. No structure, no rotation, no idea what expires when. Food that needs water you have not stored, food that needs heat you may not have, food your household does not even eat on a normal week. And yet, from the outside, the pantry looks full. That is the problem. You do not have a pantry, you have a pile. And this is where most people get it wrong. Now pay attention because you're about to learn exactly how to build a 30, 60, and 90-day supply without breaking the bank. What to buy first, what to skip entirely, and how to store food long-term so it actually lasts, instead of quietly expiring on a shelf you forgot existed. None of this requires a big budget. The smartest pantry setups are built on the cheapest calories available. That's actually the point. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that now. This channel is built for people who want systems that hold, not advice that sounds good until things break down. Here's the first thing most people get wrong. They hear the words, build a 3-month food supply, and feel immediately overwhelmed. So they do nothing, or they buy one of those prepackaged survival buckets, feel accomplished, and never think about it again. Most people try to jump straight to 90 days and quit before they finish week 1. That is not preparation, that's a purchase. Here's how you actually build it. You start with 30 days, not 90, not 60. 30 days of real food for your actual household built deliberately, one layer at a time. Your 30-day foundation is simple. White rice, dried beans and lentils, rolled oats, canned proteins like sardines, tuna, and canned chicken, peanut butter, cooking oil, salt, a basic spice kit so the food is actually edible. That's your list. A 20-pound bag of white rice costs roughly $12 to $15 and delivers around 32,000 calories. A pound of dried black beans costs under $2 and provides nearly 1,500 calories. You can build a legitimate 30-day calorie base for one adult under $100 if you're buying deliberately. Once 30 days is solid, you extend to 60. Same logic, more quantity, add variety on top of the base. Canned vegetables, multivitamins, honey, shelf-stable fats. Then 90 days follows naturally. By that point, your system is already running, you're rotating, you know what you go through and how fast. The 90-day supply is not a separate project, it's the result of maintaining the earlier layers consistently over time. Build in the right order and none of it feels overwhelming. Now here's where most people waste money, and it's a specific kind of mistake. They walk into a store and buy what feels like survival food. Freeze-dried meals, exotic grains they've never cooked, specialty items with long shelf lives but low usefulness, because nobody in the household actually knows how to prepare them. You're solving the wrong problem. Buy what your household already eats, then buy more of it. That's the entire strategy. If your family eats rice and beans regularly, your emergency pantry should have a lot of rice and beans. The goal is not survival rations you'll choke down in a crisis. It's more of the normal food you already depend on. The priority order for a budget build goes like this. Grains first, rice, oats, pasta, flour, then legumes, dried beans, lentils, split peas, then canned proteins, then fats, cooking oil, and peanut butter, then canned vegetables to fill nutritional gaps. What do you skip? Snack food, chips, crackers, protein bars. These are low calorie density, high cost per calorie, and they create a false sense of fullness in your supply numbers. Skip prepackaged survival kits until your staple foundation is already covered. Most are overpriced and undercaloric for what you pay. Buy boring, buy cheap, buy what you'll actually eat. And here's a question for you. What's the one food you always keep stocked no matter what? Drop it in the comments. Genuinely want to see what people are building around. At this point, most people realize something uncomfortable. Their pantry is not a system, it's a delay. Here's the math that changes how you shop. One adult under moderate stress needs roughly 2,000 to 2,500 calories per day. For a 30-day supply, that's 60,000 to 75,000 calories per person. For 90 days, you're looking at 180,000 to 225,000 calories. When you view your pantry through that lens, the pile stops looking full very quickly. A bag of chips holds maybe 2,400 calories, 1 day of food for one person in an entire bag. A 20-pound bag of white rice holds 32,000 calories, 14 days of food for one person for $15. Calories are not optional, they're the entire game. Build your reserve around calorie density per dollar spent. Rice wins, beans win, oats win, pasta wins. Everything else is secondary until those four are covered in sufficient quantity. Now, here's the part most people skip entirely, and it's the reason a full pantry can still fail you. Most people lose their food before they ever need it. They put everything in original packaging and call it done. Paper bags of rice split. Cardboard boxes attract moisture. Factory-sealed plastic bags are not airtight enough for long-term storage. You open something 2 years later and it's compromised. Everything you spent on it is gone. Here's how you store food so it actually lasts. For grains and legumes going into long-term reserve, the method is Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, sealed inside food-grade buckets. Mylar blocks light and moisture. Oxygen absorbers eliminate the oxygen that causes food to degrade. Sealed correctly, white rice stores for 25 to 30 years. Dried beans the same. Oats up to 30 years. Oxygen absorbers cost a few dollars for a pack of 100. Mylar bags are cheap. Food-grade buckets can be sourced from restaurant supply stores, sometimes free if you ask. The equipment cost is minimal if you source it correctly. Temperature matters. Heat accelerates degradation. Store in a cool, dark, dry location, a basement, an interior closet, anywhere without temperature swings or direct sunlight. Label everything: date of purchase, date of sealing, expected shelf life. If you can't read that information off the label, your system has already failed before you started. Buying right and storing right still leaves one more failure point: rotation. If you don't rotate, your pantry becomes a slow-motion loss you won't notice until it's too late. The method is simple: first in, first out. New purchases go to the back, older stock comes to the front. You use what's closest to expiring and replace it at the rear. The deeper principle is that your emergency pantry should not be a sealed room you never touch. It should be integrated into how your household already eats. You're buying ahead of yourself and cycling through continuously. Nothing expires, nothing is wasted, and your household is already adapted to the stored food because you've been eating it all along. If you're storing food you don't regularly cook, you've already made a mistake. Fix it before the rotation problem becomes a waste problem. You have food, you have a system, but two things will still stop you from eating any of it: water and heat. Almost everything in a budget food reserve requires water to prepare. Rice, beans, oats, all of it needs water. Food without water isn't food, it's inventory. If you have 90 days of food and 3 days of water, you don't have a 90-day supply. You have a problem. Plan for a minimum of 1.5 gallons per person per day when you factor in cooking. Your water storage and your food storage are one system. Plan them together. Heat is the second dependency. Your stove works until it doesn't. Gas gets cut, power goes out. That's exactly when you need your emergency supply most, and exactly when your primary cooking method may be unavailable. A propane camp stove with extra fuel canisters costs $30 to $50 and solves this entirely. Keep your stored meals simple to cook on one burner with limited fuel. Pre-soaked beans that cook faster, oats that need nothing more than hot water. Because food you can't prepare is the same as food you don't have. So now you open your pantry again, but this time it's different. 30 days fully stocked and rotating, the 60-day extension behind it. Deep reserve sealed in Mylar, dated, labeled, cool and dark, good for decades if needed. A camp stove in the closet, water storage calculated against your food supply. You know what to buy next because you know what runs out first. You know what to skip because you understand calorie math. You know your food will last because you stored it correctly from the start. The moment this becomes real, the difference between a pile and a system becomes obvious. One person has food, the other has a plan. If you want to build systems that actually hold up when things change, subscribe. There's more coming, and it only gets more specific from here. Preparation is not what you store, it's how you structure it.